We've got the fact that truth exists. We've got the fact that there's a theistic God out there. Now we have to see what kind of theistic God is out there. And for that, we have to look at this issue of miracles. And some people believe miracles are impossible. For example, they think, how could you believe in Noah? That seems so outlandish. What is the deal with Noah? I actually think the Noah miracle occurred. In fact, I went on a Noah's Ark expedition in 2006 into the mountains of Iran with a friend of mine, Bob Kornuk, who's the real Indiana Jones. I don't have time to tell you the story, but I will tell you that we got up to 13,000 feet where we had some intel. There could have been an old boat. We saw this object sticking out of the side of a mountain. We got up to it. It looked like it could have been the side of an old boat, but when we got up to it, it was rock. So we pulled samples off it. We brought them back to the United States, and 5 out of the 9 samples tested as petrified wood. But we can't prove it's Noah's Ark because it didn't say USS Noah on the side. Just can't do that. Resurrections don't happen. Everyone who knows about somebody dying, they say, well, that person's still dead. Why should I believe in a resurrection? And of course, the greatest miracle that people have trouble with in the Bible is Jonah. Is that a tale of a whale or a whale of a tale? What is the deal with Jonah? How can you believe in Jonah and the whale? Well, question. What is the greatest miracle in the Bible? It's not the resurrection. Yes, the greatest miracle in the Bible is the first verse, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. If that verse is true, every other verse is believable, right? I mean, if it's true that God created the heavens and the earth out of nothing, can he do whatever he wants that's not logically impossible inside the heavens and the earth? Can he do Jonah and Jesus and Noah and part the Red Sea? Can he do that if he can create the whole universe out of nothing? That's easy for God to create the whole universe out of nothing. Now, here's the interesting point. The point is we have scientific evidence and philosophical evidence. The first verse of the Bible is indeed true. The greatest miracle in the Bible has already occurred. So to say that future miracles after the first one haven't occurred is unreasonable. It's possible they have occurred. In fact, notice, let's assume for a second the New Testament documents are reliable. I haven't gotten there yet. But notice in the New Testament documents, Jesus relates 2 of the most controversial miracles in the Bible to his own life, Noah and Jonah. Do you think Jesus thought that those miracles were historical or hysterical? He thought they were historical. C.S. Lewis put it very well. He said, if we admit God, must we admit miracles? Indeed, you have no security against it. That is the bargain. If God exists, miracles are possible. In fact, miracles have to be rare to get our attention. A lot of people, as I said, don't believe in miracles because they haven't seen one or they haven't seen a resurrection. Let me ask you a question. If miracles like the resurrections occurred all the time, what would be the effect of Jesus' miracle on us? It would be zero, nada. You go out there and say, Jesus rose from the dead, and they'd go, Uncle George rose from the dead 2 weeks ago. I got to give my inheritance back. I'm a little annoyed, all right? It doesn't, if that happened all the time, the value of the resurrection of Christ would be nothing. They have to be rare to get our attention, and that's what miracles are for in the Bible. They're sign miracles. They're signs to show us who speaks for God. Why should we follow Moses? Because God does miracles through Moses. Why should we follow Elijah and Elijah? Because God does miracles through Elijah and Elijah. Why should we follow Jesus and the apostles? Because God does miracles through Jesus and the apostles. They don't happen all the time. If they happened all the time, they would lose their ability to get our attention. So they have to be rare. Now, I said one thing some of you may not agree with. I said, God can do whatever he wants. It's not logically impossible. Some of you are thinking, I thought God can do anything. No, there's some things that even God can't do. Like what? He can't do logically impossible things. Like he can't create a square circle. Doesn't exist. He can't create a one-ended stick. Doesn't exist. Can't create a married bachelor. Doesn't exist. Can't create an honest politician. Okay? Doesn't exist. I mean, there's just some things that are too hard for God. In fact, there are some things you can do that God can't do. Like what? Lie, sin, go out of existence, change. What's God going to change from? He's a perfect being. So if he could do those things, he wouldn't be God. He wouldn't be the unchanging standard by which everything else is measured. So miracles are possible. The greatest miracle in the Bible has already occurred. The only question now is it true that subsequent miracles have occurred, particularly as the New Testament claims they have? Have these miracles really occurred to tell us that Jesus really was God incarnate? And for that, we have to look at the New Testament documents.